Keep persisting in the midst of your adversity. Keep resisting doubt in times you have uncertainty. Life can be unkind, the grind can make you.
What else do you see out there that is a problem with the issues that we're facing right now with the sexual diversity and the way that our culture misleads people?
So I think, my biggest concern, I believe in the salvation of the lost. I do. So when I say this, I'm not disregarding the lost when I say this, but I expect the world to come up with very crazy and silly doctrine and ways of thinking. But my concern is when the church adopts those things and the Bible is no longer is no longer the final authority. So as I'm doing my dissertation studies and just reading in general, I'm attempting to have conversations with people within the church, not just lay people, but leaders, pastors, ministers who either lead LGBTQ inclusive churches or are part of LGBTQ inclusive churches, because I want to hear this stuff in real time, so that I can have a proper answer and so that I can properly address some of the things that are out here. And one of the things that I hear frequently is, and these are from leaders who are actively pastoring or actively leading churches, through things I've read and through conversations that I've had, that the Bible is not divinely inspired. So there's a belief that, some will say that the Bible is just a book of stories. Some will say that the Bible is essentially a great guide. I remember a while ago, I went to this event where this gay pastor was there with his husband and some of his congregation. And there was a girl in the audience who stood up and said, I'm a lesbian, but I want a relationship with God, but I've been hearing that my way of life is wrong. So how do I deal with that? And the pastor said, I don't always preach from the Bible because the Bible is closed, but God is still speaking. And those are the kinds of things that you hear. So in different ways, you hear basically that the Bible is not divinely inspired and it's not authoritative. And I think that ultimately, I was sitting with somebody a couple of days ago, a leader of an LGBTQ inclusive church, and he looked at me, he said, it gets down to what the scriptures say. And he said, I do not believe the scriptures are divinely inspired. I don't believe the Bible says anything about homosexual practice. And so it comes down to the Bible. Troy Perry, who was the originator of one of the first gay Christian denominations, I was reading something he said a while ago, and basically he said that it was easier for him to get his beliefs and doctrine into more liberal churches because they are not as serious, or they are not as serious, or they don't study the Bible as much as more traditional evangelical churches do. I'm just paraphrasing what he said, and I found that very interesting. Because it all boils down to the Bible, and the way that I see the Paul's words in Romans and in 1 Timothy and in 1 Corinthians 6, the way those things are finagled, the way I see people try to reinterpret and deal with the prohibitions in Leviticus, that is what concerns me the most.
Yes.
Keep persisting in the midst of your adversity. Keep resisting doubt in times you have uncertainty. Life can be unkind, the grind can make you wanna leave. Feeling like you're all alone right in your time of need. I know you keep a smile, but you really hurt inside.